Let's talk about open grid benchwork and the 10 things to consider when we're building it. So let's go. Hi, I'm Tom Kovichak, and this is Tom's Trains and Things. This channel was created to help other modelers who are in need of guidance in pursuing their dream of building a model railroad. And we're just going to continue on talking about the benchwork on open grid because there's so many things to consider while we're doing it. Before we get started, let me remind you how much we appreciate the support you've given us in the past. And I hope you continue with that support in the future. For those of you that haven't subscribed yet, go ahead and hit that subscribe button to receive valuable information in future videos. Also, go ahead and comment down here. Give me a thumbs up. Share the video. Tell your friends about it. In the last episode, I showed you two different methods that I use for bench work, the L girder and the open grid. Now, I went into a little bit detail about the L girder, but I didn't say that much about the open grid. And that's what we're going to talk about today, the open grid bench work and 10 things to consider while building it. So let's get going with that right now. Open grid bench work can be used in a number of different areas, like on a shelf, around the wall, in modules. You could use it as a table, put some legs on it, some wheels on it. You could put it in your garage and roll it out of the way when you're not using it. You could use it anywhere. You could use it with 1x2s, 1x3s, 1x4s, depending on how long, how wide, and where you want to put it. And we'll go into that a little bit further on. You could use open grid bench work in more applications than you can the L girder. And that's why we're going to talk about it here. We're going to expand on what we can do with it. I'm going to go over the 10 points to consider real quick, and I'm going to put them up on the screen, and then later on I'll go through each one of them. So here they are. The first one is the method of mounting. Number 2 is how you're going to run the wire. 3 is location of turnouts. 4, easy access. 5, mounting controls, including a panel or a computer or laptop. 6, attaching fascia. 7, attaching backdrop or a scenic divider. 8, storage underneath. 9, risers. And 10, lowest point for a river or a gorge. But first, I want to take you through an explanation of the info pop-up button. Every once in a while, you'll see a little eye pop up here. It's a little eye inside of a white dot, and that tells you that there's a card that you could click on that, and it'll give you some kind of information, like even like a thumbnail. It's similar to the thumbnail annotation, but it's a card, and you could click on that. You could even leave it alone and wait till the end of the video and click on it at the end of the video, and you could still see what information that I have for you. So if I'm talking about something and you'll see a little eye pop up there and a little description, you'll know that that's something that I want you to take a look at. And you could take a look at it, and it might be a video that I'm talking about, or it could even be, the support button that I just put on there. You can click on that if you would like to support this channel. I'm going to take you down underneath my workbench because I've used the open grid on building that. My workbench is 2 foot by 6 foot, and I used 1x4s on it for the length and the width. And this one extra piece in here that runs along the length. I put that in there for extra rigidity because this is the end of the workbench that I'm going to be working on most of the time. The rest of it is just mainly storage and yeah, storage. But anyway, this same method right here could be used in a number of different ways. It could be used on a shelf. It could be used along the walls. You could make a table like this. You could make it wider. You could make it longer. I would stick with the 1x4s if you're going to make it large, like maybe more than 2 foot wide. I'd stay with the 1x4s. If it's less than that, you could probably get away with the 1x3s. Okay, number 1, the method of mounting. Now, like I showed you with the L girder, you could put legs on it, and you could do it the same way on here. Just make sure that the legs are positioned that it's not going to be able to be tipped over. Okay, you could also mount them on the wall. Now, there's a couple of different ways that you can mount them on the wall, and basically find where your studs are. Okay, either use a stud finder, or you could use a magnet to find out where the screws are on your drywall. Or if you have a concrete block or brick wall, you could just attach it directly to there. They make anchors for concrete block. They make them for brick. They're basically the same things. You just drill a hole, mount your vertical in there. I would put a vertical in there so you could run it all the way down to the floor, and then if you want to run a diagonal from the front of your benchwork all the way down on an angle to keep it up, or you could bring it straight down. But anyway, that's a couple of different ways if you're doing it on the wall or you're putting your own legs on it. If you're now you're going to be running wire on it, so you want to drill some holes through it, through the length of it, and maybe somewhere wherever you're going to put your control panel, or if you're going to put your controls underneath. We'll talk about that in another number, but drill a hole and keep your feeder wires separate from your accessory wires. Make sure, number 3, make sure you know where the location of your turnouts are. Mainly because if you're just going to do the hand throws up on the top, you really don't have to worry about it. But if you're going to have some kind of actuator, whether it's going to be a manual actuator or you're going to have a slow motion switch machine or some other kind of mechanism to operate your machine, you're going to have to put a wire up through there. So you're going to have to make sure that your cross brace is clear of where your wire going up into the switch is going to be located. Okay, easy access. That's number 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, easy access. Now, if it's going to be wide, okay, now take a look at that. That's 36 inches over on the side over there. But back into the corner, I have it a little bit deeper, but I made an access panel back there. Okay, and I've made access panels everywhere else where I have it wider than 36 inches. And the reason for that is you're going to want to get back there. What if you have a derailment? What if you have to move something, or, it could be anything, but you want to have the easy access. You want to take into consideration of mounting controls. Okay, whether you're going to be doing DC or DCC, your power supply, you need a place to put it. And if you're DC, all your controls for your DC, you want to have a place to hang up your controller also. And if you're going to have a computer or a laptop, you want to have a place where you could put it where it's not interfering with your track work. Like make a shelf underneath, or even put a drawer in there for a laptop. What I did on mine is I have a shelf underneath, and I have an old Windows XP computer that I had long time ago that just was getting ready to throw out, but I just kept it because it had 5.1 surround sound on it, and it had Windows XP, so I can put JMRI on it to control everything. So you want to be able to attach the fascia to it. And if you're not going to be using fascia, or you're just going to put a skirt on it, make some arrangements so you could attach it to the sides. Number 7, the backdrop, or if you're going to be having a scenic divider, if you're going to be like 5 foot deep and you want a scenic divider in there and you're going to put it in the middle of the floor, you want to make sure that you have bracing for the scenic divider. Or if it's going to be up against the wall, like on mine, I had it attached to the wall, but I took it down and I'm going to redo it. But you want a place where you could attach your backdrop to it. You're going to need storage for all your totes, your boxes, everything else, even a computer or your rolling stock that you're not using that you have in boxes or in drawers or anything. Think of that, okay? On mine, I have shelves under here. I have shelves in the other place. I have shelves for my controls. You want risers for your track work, and so make sure that your bracing inside, in between, is close enough that you can put your risers in and you don't have a dip in the plywood or whatever you're using for under your track work. And also the lowest point on your layout. If you want to put a river in there or you want to put a gorge in there, you can always attach a short section between two pieces of your bench work. Say you have, two like this, and you want to put a valley in there. You could take a short section and attach it with risers and make it as long or as short as you want for your valley or for your river. I would recommend looking at some of the magazines and books that I referenced in an older video on track planning. There's a lot of good material in there. Most of the track plans have photos and instructions on how they did their bench work. So there's a lot of valuable information in there. If you can, I recommend getting this book right here. It has a lot of valuable information in it. Like I said with the track cleaning video, if you ask 20 modelers how to do something, you're going to get 25 different answers. And if you don't believe me, go take a look on Facebook in some of the users groups for model railroading. There's a lot of them in there. And if you see some post in there, it says, how do I, and then fill in the blank, they have a question there. You're going to see that post right there has the most answers than any other post in that group, because everybody has their own way of doing it, and some of them have more than one way of doing it, and they get pretty technical in the way that they describe how they do things. Those are the 10 things you want to take into consideration. Now, there's a lot more, but I'm just going to go with the 10. If you have any questions about it, let me know. I'll do my best to answer anything you have. If you don't feel comfortable building your bench work, or you don't have the time to do it, and you have the funds to do it, by all means, have somebody build it for you, because there's people out there that do that for you. You can find them on the website. You can find them in the magazine that I've seen ads in the magazines for them. And also, when I was at the Tampa train show, I ran into a guy that builds a model railroad benchwork.com. You can find them there. And I haven't priced out anything else, but it has over here a 60 by 60 is $160. And that includes benchwork built to your specification, all modular construction, all cabinet grade birch plywood frames, 1-inch wire passages throughout, lap jointed legs with height adjusters, a 1/2-inch plywood table surface, all modern pocket screw joinery, and local delivery upon request. So that, I guess that's pretty good for $160, a 5 by 5 foot table, and you could they could be joined together. And so he said he delivers anywhere in the United States. He doesn't deliver it himself, but he'll ship it anywhere in the United States. And he also does track planning. So if you'd like to, go on and check it out. He's not paying me for this, but I saw the work that he does, and it looks pretty good. So take a look at it. A little while ago, YouTube put in a new feature of end screens, but there was only one problem with it. If you had annotations, you had to remove your own annotations before you could put the end screens in your video. And I've used the end screens in my videos ever since then, and I even added some to older videos. But on this one, I have a lot of thumbnails popping up here, so I'm going to not do the end screen in this one. I'm going to do my own end screen like I did it a long time ago, and every once in a while you'll see the thumbnails of previous videos popping up over here. All you have to do is click on those, and it'll take you right to the video. I'll also put them at the end where I normally would put an end screen, like I used to do it. I'll put about four videos up there, or even playlists, and a little subscribe button also, where you could click on the video, on the thumbnail of the video, or even on the subscribe where you can subscribe. If you haven't done so already, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, because you can get valuable information on this channel, and anytime I post a video, you'll be notified of it. So, also leave a comment down at the bottom underneath there. I like to read your comments, and if you have any questions, I'll answer them. And that'll help out in the Q&A that I'm going to be doing pretty soon. Ask some questions down there in the comments, and I'll put it in a video form. Also, give me a thumbs up. Share the video. Tell your friends about it. And instead of me walking off with all these little things popping up, I'm just going to walk off like this right here, but my own annotations are going to pop up over here, which is going to be a little bit better because, I could leave them on for more than 20 seconds. So, in the next one, well, I'm not going to tell you what the next one is. But anyway, we'll see you.